So, welcome aboard. This is really exciting. My name is Shaheen, and this is Tanya, my wife, and we're really excited to start. Tanya's asked me to give a little preview to our unconscious beliefs about health and how that affects us, right? So, the thing is like this, that the way I look at it, the way we look at it in the past, especially in the past 15 years, is that whatever system we decide to employ for our health and wellness, ultimately, it would help us tremendously to know that our body can really take care of everything on its own, and that unconsciously, inside our unconscious mind, our higher self, our emotions, our physical body, the way that all of that stuff interacts with each other, we're designed to have the perfect blueprint for our bodies to reproduce the perfect health at every moment of our given time. So if you ever look at a navigator when you're driving, as soon as you go off the path, what happens to the navigator? As soon as you go to the right, even though it's telling you to go straight, the navigator immediately generates a new version of the map that you need in order to be able to get to your destination. Does that make sense? Everyone familiar with that? Right? So let's say you're supposed to come off the 405, but then you come off one exit early. Right away it comes up with a new blueprint of, okay, from this point, now that you've made that turn, how to recalculate and get there. The unconscious mind, the unconscious part of us, is built the same exact way. Every time there is a problem in the body or in the physical, the emotional, the conscious, unconscious, or the higher self, it immediately generates a new map for us to be able to create that health that we need. Does that make sense so far? Okay. Now, the thing is, how do we get in touch with that, right? How do we make it so that we can actually take benefit, take advantage of this powerful piece of us called the unconscious mind? Now, I work with clients with regression work. I work with clients during times when they go back into stages. I actually worked with one client recently. She's 48, and I did a regression when we went back to 17. And she said all of a sudden she realized where she has all this numbness around her belly, and she couldn't figure out to now. But when she went into 17, her hands became numb, and all of a sudden she remembered that that's when she had gotten the epidural, right? And all her body parts kind of started to become like morphed into that moment that she had gotten the epidural, and all the symptoms were coming back right then. And then I did a process with her where we released the fact that she had to actually hold on to that numbing that was created inside her body. And she was renewed, almost like a new person. There was almost like a blockage or a numbing happening in her body ever since she was 17, and now she's 48, right? And she had lived with that numbing all her life, right? She's on my YouTube website. You could see she talks about it for like 20 minutes. So the idea is that everything in the unconscious mind is stored, right? And every action that we do, and every time we seek help for our wellness, we're really doing it based on this belief of either something we've learned or a fear. You know, we look at television and tells us, oh my God, dude, get vaccination, do this, do that, do that, do that. All that stuff is just going right into the unconscious mind. And when time comes, especially during times when we're pregnant, we're going through all this stuff, that kicks in, and the only options we know is what we're going to act on, right? So that's why we decided to create this class so that you have more options, ultimately. Tanya's going to introduce you so many different options so that you can have more ways of knowing how to make informed decisions. So that's one aspect of what we have going on unconsciously. Belief systems, we have values inside us, and then underneath that we have belief systems. And I think one of the beliefs that we have just living in the Western culture is that we must be sick, or we must have some problems. We have to see the doctor regularly or else things can go bad. Whereas at the same time, the medical world deals primarily with the physical aspect of things, and it's not really working on necessarily a type of prevention, right? It's just working on, if you get sick, this happens. If there's a symptom, we'll treat it this way. Now, homeopathy, on the other hand, which is what Tanya is introducing, which works with the core energy of the person, works at a very core level, works with your energy vibrations, right? So instead of treating a symptom, it raises your energy vibration so your body can repel the problem with the symptom. So again, a lot of it has to do with our unconscious, the way we actually perceive it. So our conscious mind is usually evaluating things all the time. Our unconscious mind can create total shift and follow directions and healing in the body. The reason we don't heal a lot of times is because we're trying to do it consciously. You ever try to consciously do something and you like nag it into your brain and like push it in? No, and then your brain just pushes it out. Ever try that? Like, do you ever see people trying to quit smoking cigarettes or something? They like try so hard with willpower, and then the next day they do it again. It's because they're trying to do it consciously, right? Your unconscious mind works well, for example, when you take 10 deep breaths and you really let go of the constant chatter there, you start to tap into your unconscious mind. And then you begin to hear the reality of things, right? And you begin to work with it. So I want to do a quick 2 minutes meditation where we can dispel and release all of the things we've heard from the news, from the media, from our past healthcare providers that if they told us things that just was limited, and things that took away our trust for the wellness in our body. Are you up for that? 2 minutes? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is, wherever you are and however you are, it's perfectly fine. You're just going to take 5 deep breaths. The way we're going to do the breaths is we're going to inhale through our nose and then hold it for 3 seconds and then exhale twice as long through the mouth. So if you have your baby with you, that's perfectly fine however you do it, and allow all the noise around you and everything that's around you to help you go even deeper. So everything you hear or every interruption will allow you to become even more relaxed, okay? Let's utilize that to our benefit. So let's begin with the first breath. Go ahead and take an inhale in. And just release any tension on your shoulders or any parts that you're holding on to, whatever it is from yesterday, just let it go. Coming into the now. If you have a baby in your belly, giving wonderful messages of love. And if your baby's sitting right in front of you, your baby's feeling that right now. Sending love, visualizing a wonderful purple light right around you, and to your loved ones, to your husband, to your wife. And third breath. Allowing your unconscious mind to release any old belief systems about what health is meant to be, or that health is something outside of yourself, those belief systems that are just not true anymore. Allowing yourself to release that, realizing that your body has the perfect blueprint to create and facilitate wonderful processes and healing at all times. And then the fourth breath, as you breathe in wonderful health, wellness, prevention, life. And exhale any beliefs that just don't work for you anymore, like the belief that someone outside of you has to heal it or send you, or that the belief that something like medicine has to heal, or the belief that vaccines can actually heal in any way. These are all belief systems we've created. And just come to this reality that you're open for some new ways of looking at things, new ways of creating your inner reality. Realizing that the mainstream way of doing things doesn't always mean that it's exactly the only way, that there's options and there's ways. And that I want you to remember a time that you tried something, you did something that was different, something that you did that was just different, but it worked out well for you. And 5, getting ready for the introduction from Tanya. Tanya, are you ready? Okay, we're ready for you.